Welcome back, guys. My name is Leland, bringing you another TA of the GRT. We're also going to be talking about Numeraire, Bitcoin, and Nucypher as well. What else did I forget? Oh, Orchid. We're also going to be talking about Orchid too. If that sounds good to you, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you are new, and let's jump into the charts. But before we do that, do you want to feel more comfortable and more confident within your trades? Go buy this book. If you want to learn about all the indicators, the patterns, and the charts that I use and want to do TA like me, go buy this book. This book is going to start helping you knowing when to buy the bottoms and knowing when to sell the tops. With buying this book, watching my TAs on my live streams, and coming to watch these videos, you're going to learn a lot. Okay, let's move on. Okay, GRT right now threw a little bit of a loop at me. I was a little worried. We were in this falling wedge. We had a resistance, supports, and then support, resistance, and then we broke down. And what I was expecting for GRT is that we were going to be coming up to this new resistance that we had made that was previously support, and we were going to get denied, but that's not the case. And it's still not over. We still have 5.5 more hours until this daily candle closes. But currently what's happening is we have a bullish engulfing candle. If GRT can close around this area or even above, I would say $1.45, this would be a Japanese candlestick pattern known as a bullish engulfing candle. This typically shows us that there's going to be a reversal within the trend. We've been having this downtrend. We've been having this falling wedge action. This could give us a signal that we're going to be breaking this resistance very soon. And the reason why I say that, and I sound like a broken record player, because we've all been waiting for it, and it's been going on for weeks. It's been going on for weeks, but you can see we do have this negative momentum that's moving to the upside on our histogram. We had this nice smooth action with this first island, the second island come over here, and I was expecting a breakout to happen right around here. I was thinking we were going to be getting across. That was not the case. And Bitcoin took us by surprise. Bitcoin dropped another 14%, was kind of out of nowhere. We weren't really expecting. We thought we were ready to keep going up and break, what was it, $61,000 or so, but that didn't happen. And that alts saw a bit of a drop with that as well. So we've created another island over here, but nevertheless, we are still in an upward trajectory with that momentum. That's really bullish. If you look at the RSI over here on the daily, we've never been even close to the 30 down here, and I do believe this is going to be the bottom. I really do think that GRT is not going to go any lower than that right there. If it does, then that's going to be absolutely insane, and Bitcoin would have to just continue to drop, and then that would take us below the 30 on there. But I just don't see that happening. At some point, it is going to come to an end where we're going to be done consolidating, and I think this is the signal right here. This bullish engulfing candle is signaling a reversal. You can see that our stochastic RSI, we're already starting to have this upward movement. We've been down here for quite some time. Can you guys see that? Let me move this up just a little bit. But you can see on the stochastic RSI that our momentum had been below the 20 for quite some time. And when we get above that 20 is when we start having momentum to the upside. So we've been down here for literally the past couple of weeks. We've just been just skidding along at the bottom here. We had our cross right here, and we're starting to get that movement to the upside. So I think it's looking really good right now. It's still looking quite good. Hopefully you guys didn't sell and panic when you started seeing it started to drop, because I do believe this is going to be the bottom. Nevertheless, we still made a higher low right about there. One of the goals that we're going to need to be getting above is going to be $1.65. I think once we can get above this 21 EMA over here and eventually try to break out of this resistance, we'll be moving much higher after that. I know a lot of you are like, man, I've been waiting for so long for GRT to start moving up, and it's time. It really is about that time. I mean, like I said, we pumped like 600 and something percent back here. When we finally pumped that 600 something percent, we started moving sideways. We started consolidating, and I believe it is time for GRT to start moving to the upside. Okay. Let's move on over to Nucypher. Nucypher also saw a little bit of ugliness. You can see that we had this trend line over here. There was that purple trend line that was holding all the way back to the beginning of the year. We were using it as support all the way up, and we've run into that trend line, and we've broken down below it. And we actually even made a newer low on the time being over here, but that's not good for Nucypher. I don't think that's very good. Nucypher can catch a lot of people by surprise by just having a massive pump, but nevertheless, when I'm looking at the technicals, this isn't looking good to me. You can see that we had all this resistance back here. It took us quite some time before we broke out and came back for the retest right about there. We were holding at support all this time later, and we've broken below it, and now we're using it as resistance. That's not good. It is looking a little bearish for me. We've been kind of in question about what's going to be happening with Nucypher, and I think it's probably safe to say now that we're a little bit bearish about it, and it's going to be taking some time before we can recover pretty hard. But you can see here on our MACD, we are having a cross on the 4 hour right now. We have this negative momentum moving to the upside. What I think is going to happen is we might come over here and try to test this purple trend line right about there and possibly getting the rejection. But the key area that we want to see, we want to get above that 55-cent area. Get back above 55 cents. Come over here and break through that trend line. I think that's very possible. And for that to happen, there's going to be a lot of money that's going to need to flow into Nucypher. Get above that trend line, and then we can start talking a little bit more bullish about Nucypher. But currently, right now, if we don't get back above 55 cents or this purple trend line, we're in deep doo-doo. It's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be looking good. This is a bull market, but unfortunately, like I said before, Bitcoin has just been taking a toll on all of these coins. So once we do get above the purple trend line right here, I believe by that time it's going to be coinciding with this 236, which is going to be 68 cents. I think by that time, that's really going to be the big test, and that's a major area of resistance. Like I said, Nucypher has a lot of room or a lot of making up to do, a lot of recovery. But for now, I'm going to start being a little bit bearish on Nucypher as my tone is starting to change about it. Not telling you guys to go sell your positions right now. If you guys are hodlers, good for you. That's what you should be doing. But there are some obstacles. We have some obstacles that we have to overcome, and we'll see what happens. I know you guys don't like to hear these kind of things. You know, I'm more of a bull during these markets than I am a bear, but looking at the technicals right there, I don't know what to say. Like, that's bearish. That's really bearish. So someone's got to deliver you that bad news. Let's go ahead and move over to Orchid. And if you were liking this content, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Okay. Orchid has been on a completely different story. We had all of this news that was leading up to the Edward Snowden conference, and that's why we had this massive pup to the upside. We went up and we hit the golden mean ratio at about 90 cents. It actually peaked out, and I believe it hit 91 cents. 91 cents. We had a massive pullback. I actually took a trade over here at about 87 cents, somewhere in that area. I went ahead and I sold just because I saw that the markets were going to be taking a downturn. And I'm really glad that I did. But look what happened. We came all the way down to the 238. All the way down to the 238. And if we go ahead and we take a look at what else did this, I believe we're going to talk about Numeraire next. But Numeraire did the same exact thing. Came down to the 238. And it's looking bullish. It's still looking really bullish. But anyways, let's go back to Orchid. So Orchid today is having a really good day. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we were in this downturn going all the way down, and then we just had this massive candle pump to the upside. And you can see that we're still in an uptrend. We have our 4 hour candles. We're moving to the upside. It's probably putting in some kind of pattern right now. What are we putting in? Yeah, it's just some kind of consolidation pattern. Nevertheless, the key for Orchid right now is we need to get back above that 71 cent area, get above 71 cents, test it as support, and I think we'll be taking off to much higher highs. You can see that the 80 cent area has been acting as resistance as it was right there. That was a previous all-time high. we've made new all-time highs over here, and we're very bullish about Orchid, especially with the news that has been coming out. That pump has put us above, and it's very interesting, it has put us above the 21 EMA, and you can see that we've used it for support for quite some time. So as long as we can continue to have these days, let some time go by, I think by the end of the month, we'll eventually get above that 71 cent area, probably sooner, and we can start seeing movement to the upside. If we go over to a daily and we take a look at our MACD, you can see we've taken quite a turn. We have this bearish cross between the 12 and 26 day moving average, and then that's almost over, right? You can see that the stochastic, I'm sorry, not the stochastic, the histogram right here is it's just a little tiny little bump, and it's moving straight back up. But what is really interesting to me is if you look at the stochastic RSI over here, we're below the 20. And previously, when we were below the 20 back here, you can see that we've had this massive pump to the upside, and that's what that huge rally was before Edward Snowden had his conference. So I am expecting more upside, possibly going up and touching $1 here pretty soon, where you can see we're not even overbought on the RSI right now, looking really bullish on Orchid, loving the coin. Let's go ahead and let's move on over to we're gonna be looking at, that's right, Numeraire. Numeraire doing this very similar things, right? Very similar things. We have our Fibonacci over here, we have our swing high down to our swing low. We can move that up just a little bit and move this down actually right about there we go. Okay, so like I said, we came down and we touched our 382, which is at 37 cents. I'm sorry, $38 area. You can see we've used it for support previously in the past. We went up and we touched all-time highs perfectly over here on Numeraire, and it got rejected, and I don't think it's over. I think we've accomplished a lot. You can see previously in the past here where we were using the 386 as resistance, and then even with the massive fall that we had back over here, we came down, we touched the 238. I think that's okay. Are these the times to be buying Numeraire right now? It's hard to say, but I think it's safe to say that we have $38 as a very hard support, and we're only sitting at 43 bucks right now. So, and then same thing over here. Look at the stochastic RSI right below that 20. When we start moving that momentum, and we actually we already had our cross on the daily, I think our momentum is going to start moving to the upside, where we can start seeing $50, $58 again with Numeraire. Hopefully, indicators are lagging, so what I'm thinking we're probably going to see over here is we're seeing kind of like a reversal. Really, it's a reversal within the markets. It's a trend reversal, because this one's having a bit of a bullish engulfing candle as well, depending on where it ends. I think if Numeraire can come up here and it can end this candle right about $46, that's going to be a bullish engulfing candle, which is why I think we're seeing this reversal right now. And all of this has to do with what Bitcoin is doing right now. You can see Bitcoin is putting in a bullish engulfing candle as well. Is this the reversal right here? Was that the bottom? Maybe. It's very possible. It's really hard to say, because if we go to the daily, we were looking at Bitcoin a bit before, and we were having our hidden bearish divergence, where we had momentum moving to the downside on our MACD, while price action was moving up. That was a bearish indicator, not only on the MACD, but also on the RSI as well. But check out the check out the stochastic RSI. Our stochastic RSI is below the 20, just like with everything else. Have we caught our bottom? Are we going to start seeing movement to the upside? Are the next few days going to be green for us in the crypto space? I think it's very possible. That's what the charts are telling me right now. Hopefully, these reversal candles will play out and we'll start seeing new all-time highs soon. I was expecting a pretty big drop, and it still could happen. It really still could happen. I was expecting at least a 30% drop, but that was going to be taking us all the way down to like $42,000. But it might be over. I don't want to speak too soon. You can see that this candle came up and it touched a 21 EMA. I think when we start getting really bullish about Bitcoin and altcoins going to start going up is when we get above that 21 EMA and we use it as support. I think that would be looking really good. We're still looking at about $54,360. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you are new, if you are enjoying this content. My name is Leyland, and remember, it's all about the TA. I'll catch you guys in the next one.